is cold. Good morning, pets, bitches, and losers. What's going on, guys? It's fucking cold. It is cold in the ATL. Whew. I moved away from New York because of all this freaking cold. But it doesn't stay as cold here as it does in New York for the period of time. So, what's up? What are we going to talk about today? Today is Saturday for you. It is my Friday. Yeah. Cat's still gone. Yeah. Anywho. So, I was on Twitter and I saw a Dom post. She felt like, and I've said this, but I think she's more like, no, it's not possible unless, I guess I should tell you what I'm talking about. Okay, so this Dom was basically saying there's no way that you can learn to be a Findom, and there's no way with all the research you do and so on and so forth, you're just not going to be a Findom unless it just comes natural. So I have touched on this whole, things come natural, a dominance. If you're naturally dominant, then yeah, you're going to fall into place on certain things a lot easier than if not. But I think it's just ignorant to say that you're just going to know how to do it. I'm sorry, but I used to do, financial domination in real life, but it was nothing like this. I mean, it was just more that I had clients that wanted me, like subs that wanted me to, they wanted to pay me just to be in my presence. And I would tell them, it was different. It wasn't like it is here. You weren't, it's just really different. So I had to do some research and be like, shit, what, like payment options. There are different subs for financial domination too. There really are. So I just think it was ignorant for her to just be like, there's just no, if you have to do research or whatever, or, maybe she was talking about, if you're just not a dominant person, you're not going to learn how to be. But I disagree with that too. I saw another post yesterday of one of the alpha couples I follow. I only follow one alpha couple. And she was saying, like, before she got into Findom, she was not as confident and everything like that. Obviously, I mean, because her and her fiance are extremely, like, they're no fucking joke. They are just Findom, totally like cuckolding, but they don't, nudity, no nothing. And so I think if you can dive into it, and I've said this before, you can find your inner dominance. You might not know that it was there. I mean, as women, we all fucking know we are stifled as little girls and everything like that. Like, behave, be sweet, don't talk back, and boys are encouraged to be strong, So, I think it is definitely possible for you to do research and study stuff about that, and then try it and find out that, oh, hey, this is how I am. This is who I am. I like this shit. So I just think it's like, you just don't wake up one day and, well, maybe some do, and be like, I'm a dominant bitch. I'm going to go take everybody's money. I don't know. I just felt that was pretty an ignorant. I didn't even comment on it because I would have said something and it would have been a fucking fight on Twitter, and I don't need that. That's her opinion. Go girl, but I think that's just a ridiculous thing to say. You don't know it until you try it, right? And that's the same way with subs, you know, with guys. It is very ingrained in them that they have to be the strong individual and they can't submit and they can't show weakness and blah, blah, blah. And then one day, bing, you know, something happens and they decide to explore into other things and become submissive or stuff like that. One of my subs, God, I haven't seen him for a while. I take that back. We messaged each other. But anyways, one of my subs, this motherfucker, if I were to meet him out in public and like have a conversation and stuff, there would be no fucking doubt in my mind, like, this guy's major motherfucking alpha. Like, he could go toe to toe with me. But then his submissive side is crazy submissive. I honestly would love to do in real life session with him. Oh my God. Because the way he is online with me, when he submits, woo, compared to, like, you know, who he is in vanilla life, it's pretty drastic. But, and some of you may be like, well, you don't really know him in his vanilla life. Let me put it to you this way. I love having a sub that we just don't have to sit there and talk kink all the fucking time. And that we can have, like, real fucking conversations. And I mean, like, what I mean by talking kink is I ask about their private lives, if they have spouses, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever, and like, what's their relationship, and if they get kinky with my one pet. He was telling me some stuff that him and his wife got kind of kinky. I was like, oh, okay. I know, I just play with my hair. I don't know why, but get over it. Wouldn't you like to play with my hair? So yeah, I like to actually have conversations that aren't just like, submit to me, bitch. I like to get to know people. I am very fascinated. And I think when you build up that, not just a kink relationship, but kind of like a personal relationship, it makes your DS relationship a lot stronger. So, yeah. The thing is, though, with him, the one who's super alpha and vanilla life, he, as I was saying, I was like, I haven't heard from him. He is very, well, he's super fucking busy. Or so he tells me, but I do believe it. He's really, he travels a lot for work, and yeah, he has a pretty fucking major job in finance and stuff. I Google your asses if I find out who you really are, because I want to make sure you don't have a fucking record. I don't do it for blackmail purposes or anything like that, so calm down. But anywho, he is really, really busy, and I think it is honestly hard for him to admit that he wants to submit. So when he does do it, he goes all in. But it's very far and in between. And he said I'm the first one that he ever submitted to like that. Is it true? I don't know. I could say yes and no. I feel 50-50 on that one. And if he's watching, bitch, don't get all upset. I'm just saying. And I think that's why he ebbs and flows in our relationship as a DS, because I think it really is sometimes just too much for him to think that his, tough exterior has dropped down so much. But we've had talks about this, and I think it's great. He said actually it's such a huge relief and stress reliever for him to just be able to submit and let go. And I think that's a lot of what people like about submitting, is just giving up control. Yeah. So anywho, like I said, ladies, we all have our opinions. We all have our opinions, and I honestly respect people's opinions, like I've said, unless it has to do with non-consensual kids and animals. You know, I respect your opinions. If that's what you think, then whatever. But I just really tend to disagree with that. I didn't realize I had a real dominant side. I mean, I've always known that I have a strong personality, but I didn't realize I had a real dominant side until, you know, I got into my relationship with my mentor. And, you know, I was his sub, and then I realized, like, this ain't working for me. So, yeah. So I just think it's ignorant to just be... I do think we have a rash of girls thinking that they can get online and be like, quick money. And they, you know, especially if they're super cute and young, they probably do make some money. Like I said, I had that one sub say to me, he liked to be dominated by he liked to do the Findom thing with bratty girls. There was something that he got off on, like, you know, giving his money to a bratty girl. But in real life, if he was doing like a session, a BDSM session, he would want somebody older. So, you know, who are we to fucking say anything? The subs, I wish more subs would go into my Curious Cat and tell me like their opinions on stuff, because I am curious. Like I said, and can I say like I said anymore? Anyways, so I have that fascination with the why. Not the what we do, but the why do we do it. The psyche, the brain. So I'm always interested. I'm like, so what got you into this? Why do you like this? And I think it's sometimes really important, because I talked to a sub. This is when I was doing in real life sessions, and he hired me for a session. I did a session on him, and he broke down really hardcore in the session. I mean, like, I stopped the session. I was like, whoa, what's going on here? And I was super young at doing this, and, you know, I squatted down and was like talking to him, and we were on the floor, and I was comforting him. And then, you know, he just kind of vomited all this childhood trauma he had gone through, and I triggered something really, really hardcore in it. He had asked for it, and then we had to have this little discussion like, okay, there are ways to work through shit like that, but I am not the one to help you that hardcore to work through it. It's not getting you off, it's triggering you, and not in a good way. So we talked, and I suggested, go to therapy, talk to somebody. I didn't see him for honestly like a year or so, and then he booked a session with me where I was like, and he had told me that he started doing like first group therapy because he felt weird being one-on-one with somebody, and then he went through a couple therapists, and he finally found one he liked, and he had started going to other dominatrixes, and he had started figuring out what he liked. And then he came back to me, and he had said to me, he goes, I mean, no disrespect, and I'm not saying this to be disrespectful to you at all. He goes, but you were super new. I was super new. You told me you wanted me to get my feet wet a little more, and maybe you needed to get your feet wet a little more. But he appreciated that I did not just stay in complete dom mode and, like mentally scar him, because he said it was crazy for him that I actually, you know, had compassion and so on and so forth. So yes, I think it's important that we do our fucking research and we figure out, like, you may see a sub like sniveling and but you gotta be able to recognize when somebody's having a fucking mental breakdown, and not in the good way. You know, if you're just that sadistic asshole where you're just like, oh yeah, you're just a fucking sociopath, and there's not going to be anything anybody can tell you, because you're just going to be like, whatever, bitch. You know, some people do realize they're sociopaths, but for the most part, most don't. Hell, my mom was told she was a fucking sociopath by a doctor, and she's like, whatever. Wow, that was a day. When I found that shit out, I was like, is it genetic? Then I had a client who's a psychiatrist tell me it usually skips generations. I was like, oh, good. Then I was like, oh my God, could you imagine if I had kids? I might have had little sociopaths. Ooh. You know, I always say there's a reason for everything. Maybe that was life's way of being like, yeah, just kind of avoided the kid thing. Never was really against it, but in retrospect, when I think of it that way, I'm like, thank God. But yes, I guess my whole point to this video is do your fucking research. Doms and subs alike. Don't be ignorant. There is so much shit out there. I mean, even newer shit that, I mean, come on. I got into this in the early 90s. Fucking, I think like 90, 91. And so much more stuff has opened up, especially in real life. And I mean, there's a certain shit in real life I would never have a desire to do. I don't shame anybody who does it or who wants it done. It's just like, yeah, my heart won't be into that. But there's just so much shit. And then, hi. Okay, some of you have fucking grown up with, you don't know anything but the internet. You've only always had the internet. Some of us never always had it. And I always try to stay up on stuff. But holy fuck, there's so many apps. There's so many this. So yeah. Do your fucking research. Talk to people who are more seasoned. I fucking follow a lot of doms that have been doing this for a long time and are super successful. And, you know, they're kind of like more my style. And to learn other stuff, because honestly, this whole online thing is pretty fucking new. It is. And I am probably not as dedicated to doing my content and kink online as much as I am doing this fucking YouTube channel. But the reason for that is, I think I've told you, I want to give you guys good content. I want, you know, I want it to be good. That is my thing. And I'm just fucking tired a lot. I finally think my body's adjusted to this fucking daylight savings thing. But damn, for a week, I've had just a rough fucking 6 weeks. Man. But, you know, it's okay. I'll live. But I want to get my shit up for my content before I have my surgery next month. I mean, it's like happening in like 6 weeks. Yesterday would be like 6 weeks. I'm like, motherfucker. Ah! It's scary to me. But, and I want you guys to entertain me. I have no shame. I'll probably do, once I feel pretty good, I'll do a fucking video with me all looking fucking crazy. So, anywho, everyone, have a fabulous, I feel like my makeup's too light today. I didn't bronze enough. Anyways, have a fucking fabulous weekend. Subs, submit to your doms. Doms, cherish those subs. And I'm also one day going to do a video talking about subs when you lose a sub. It's kind of like when I lose a client in doing hair. Yeah. you can't take it too personal. But it is going to be kind of like, oh. So, anywho, you guys, have a great day. And you guys know what to fucking do. Ladies, slay. And subs, tribute.